Greetings everyone once again and welcome to the 155th session of the online Optom learning series, OOLS. Today's session we have with us optometrist Sridhar Swarna. Sir has been an optometrist with experience for over 3 decades, and to be more precise, he has an experience of over 34 years. He graduated from the School of Optometry from the Sarojini Devi Eye Hospital in 1987, and then he has moved to the Middle East where he practices the art and science of optometry for the past 31 years. He is a specialty contact lens consultant, and he also specializes to help people with low vision. He has also designed few scleral lenses and has been educating through seminars and webinars to optometrists globally. And with all that experience, Sir is going to talk to us, I think, a very important topic, not clinical, nothing which is done in optometry curriculum, I would say at this point of time, but it's really important where we want to build up our practice. And he's going to share his ideas and views about how to build a specialty optometry practice. So welcome, sir, onto our platform. And let me leave the screen time to you.
Thank you very much, Optom Fakhruddin. It's a great pleasure and honor to be a part of OOLS platform. And hi, friends. My name is Sridhar Swarna, as introduced by Mr. Fakhruddin. I'm an optometrist and running my own practice since 2000. It's about over 2 decades, in my own practice by the name Sight Savers Optics, which is based in Dubai. So today's topic is a very simple but very interesting topic, which is on how to build a specialty optometry practice. So building specialty optometry practice is something different, which makes an optom different from the regular optoms. So as we all know, optometry is the first defense against preventable blindness, and optometrist is a great hope for visually impaired patients. I'm sure you all agree with me, correct? We should feel honored to be an optometrist. We should thank God a million times, for giving us a great opportunity to have taken the optometry as our career. So today's session is aimed at helping optoms across the globe who wish to build a niche specialty that can take them to places in their career. Now, when you say niche specialty, there are so many in that. But here we are going to discuss about a few of them. And there are mainly 3D factors that can make us a 3D optometrist. I strongly believe in these 3D factors. The first thing is desire. The second thing is dedication. The third thing is discipline. So one has to desire. See, we hear about, so-and-so person has built a great practice, with a specialty in blah, 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 blah. And we talk great about this thing. And we are still like the regular optoms. And I'm not trying to put down anyone, but I'm just trying to tell you the practice that we do on day-to-day basis. So we talk about, and we feel good, as a fellow optom, we feel good about others who have grown phenomenally in their career, but we lack the desire to be one like them. So we have to strongly desire, to do any work in our life, be it in our profession or be it in our day-to-day life. Desire, a strong desire is a must, followed by dedication. So desire is not just enough. You need to have a dedication to fulfill that desire with utmost discipline. So these three factors are the foundation stones for any career, any growth, any career growth. A clever, there is a beautiful saying which I heard in my childhood. A clever man gets the best out of the opportunities he comes across. A man, we come across many opportunities in our life and we regret missing those opportunities. And so a clever man, we always say, oh, he has best utilized the optometrist that he has come across. But a wise man never waits for the opportunities. Instead, he creates his own opportunities. So this, I read this in a novel when I was in, if I remember it right, I was in grade 11. So, but it was, these two quotes were very inspiring from my childhood. So you need to go on creating your own opportunities. So many optoms that I've come across complain of poor growth in their career, be in their own practice or in their job. So, we must have come across many optoms, oh, I've been working in this company for the last 10 years, no growth, no this, no that. I'm running my own practice, it has come to one level, but again, when it comes to growth, it's, the graph is like a plateau, there is no ascending graph. So we everyone have come, come across many optoms and personally also, but a bit of introspection can open our heart and mind. We all should ask the below questions to ourselves. As an optometrist, what do I do in my practice? As an optometrist, what do I do to retain my patients? As an optometrist, how am I different from other optoms? Very important. Introspection is the key. It should be, the introspection should be ongoing. It's not just only when you have problems, only when your career, has come to a standstill. No, it has to be, introspection in every aspect of our life, in our profession is very, very important. How am I performing? What better can I do to my patients? How better can I improve my skills? How am I different from other optoms? It's that's where, we start working hard on improving our skills. Most of us, especially in Asian countries, perform, basic refraction, prescribe glasses, and contact lenses. Most of the times, we prescribe contact lenses only when asked by the patient and end up prescribing soft single vision or, at the most, toric lenses. I'm sure you all agree with me. So what do we do in our practice? We do, we receive the patients. Okay, if you have your own practice, yes, you receive the patient. Okay, he wants to buy a pair of glasses. Okay, please come. We'll do an eye exam. You do your, put him in front of the AR. You do your retinoscopy. You do your refraction, and if you are privileged enough to have other instruments, basic instruments like slit lamp, we perform some slit lamp examination and end up giving prescription of glasses and offer them the best possible frames and best possible ophthalmic lenses, and we dispense the glasses. And I have seen many, very few optoms offer contact lenses. When I say contact lenses, in general, so only, most of them, when the patient asks for contact lenses, yes, we do have soft lenses, we have that's this, and we end up dispensing single vision lenses. But how can we make a difference in our practice? This is what we should look forward to. In my opinion, there are many specialties an optom can add in his practice. But however, below are few of the many options an optom can offer to high number of patients. So one is soft lens, the second is rigid gas permeable lens, third is scleral lens, fourth is orthokeratology. When I say orthokeratology, I say, it's myopia correction and myopia management, low vision aids and vision therapy. So these are the areas which are very important for all of us to add in our practice, because these are the places where many people lack the skills or the education. Soft lenses, what all we can offer in soft lenses? Spherical lenses, toric lenses, multifocal for presbyopia, multifocal for myopia management, and soft prostatic lenses. Now, spherical lenses, toric lenses, yes, we regularly do them. But multifocal people, I've seen many optoms are, they don't want to spend their time on because prescribing multifocal requires, an extra chair time, on the patient. So, and there is always, they feel that, the patient always says that, yeah, it's not as good as my previous single vision lenses. But with a bit of counseling and choosing the right design, we can achieve a great result among the presbyopes with the multifocal contact lenses. So multifocal contact lenses can be prescribed for myopia management. So many people are not aware still that multifocal lenses can be prescribed for myopia control. So the most important thing is understanding the designs offered by the manufacturers and prescribing them to the patients. And the soft prosthetic lenses, any disfigured cornea can be fitted with prosthetic lenses. So these are the small things that you can start with. So, if one has a good experience with these, soft lenses, never shy from, prescribing the other soft specialty lenses like the multifocals and, for presbyopia and the myopia management. Gas permeable contact lenses. So rigid gas permeable contact lenses are one of the specialty lenses which receive appreciation from the patients. These lenses are not prescribed by many optoms. I still remember during my optometry days, there were many optoms who used to practice the gas permeable lenses. In fact, those were the days where we used to have the PMMA lenses with zero decay. I really mean zero decay. So the oxygen transmissibility was purely dependent on the tear exchange. So then came the RGP lenses. Of course, by the time I started my optometry, yes, RGP lenses were already available in the market. So RGP lenses were really the game changers in the optometry profession, and many patients started appreciating the vision, and many of the hypoxic issues were resolved by prescribing the gas permeable contact lenses. They offer excellent vision for the patients with any kind of refractive error, keratoconus, orthokeratology. Orthokeratology, when I say, it's myopia correction and myopia control, and traumatic cornea. So, thanks to, the designs like Rose K, which was introduced by Dr. Paul Rose. I mean, it has brought dramatic changes in the optometry field, where we had we used to prescribe only spherical gas permeable lenses for the keratoconus. So the Rose K was a game changer in the industry. So it brought in many positive results, and the corneal scarring has become really minimal compared to the previous spherical RGP lenses. And the orthokeratology, and thanks to the latest CNC machines, the reproducibility of the lenses has become extremely good. and the softwares that are available these days are extremely good, in designing the RGP lenses or orthokeratology lenses. And yeah, they can be easily prescribed on irregular or traumatic cornea. Scleral lenses. Scleral lenses, it's my favorite baby among all the contact lenses, and they add scleral lenses can add a wow factor in our practice. They are large diameter GP lenses that rest on the sclera and vault over the cornea. So when I say vault, so that's the cornea. So they vault with creating a space, creating a gap, so they don't touch the cornea. So they rest on the sclera. So sclera is the most forgiving tissue of the ocular surface. So it's not as sensitive as the cornea. Cornea is very sensitive. There is always intolerance complaint by the patients, when they wear the small corneal RGP lenses, or even sometimes patients with extreme dryness, they don't enjoy wearing even the soft lenses. So scleral lenses, they rest on the sclera and vault over the cornea. So they were, I'm sure many of you have attended a number of sessions on the scleral lens fitting, and the designs and how to manipulate the design to give the utmost comfort and the fit. So scleral lenses were, they add real wow factor in a practice, and they're life-changing visual aids for the patients suffering from keratoconus, traumatic cornea, Stevens-Johnson syndrome, Shortland syndrome, post-refractive surgery, ectasia, and many ocular surface disorders. They can also be prescribed as therapeutic lenses. The patients appreciate scleral lenses for the utmost comfort and crisp vision they offer, because they are the gas permeable lenses. So they offer a great a very crisp vision. Unlike corneal GP lenses, they cause a very minimal awareness and offer extreme soft lens like comfort. Orthokeratology. So orthokeratology is a great procedure for myopic correction and myopia control. So reverse geometry, basically reverse geometry, high decay GP lenses are used to temporarily, flatten the, excuse me for the spelling mistake, temporarily flatten the central cornea to correct myopia. So with the new designs evolving, the practitioner has many choices to choose from. With a bit of experience, one can even design ortho lens with softwares like OrthoTool and RGP Designer. Otherwise, many reputed labs offer the diagnostic sets with an amazing technical support. So as you can see in the picture, the central, the optic zone on the ortho lens is flatter, with the mid periphery, which is steeper, and then it is flatter. So this is how a basic ortho K lens looks when you apply fluorescent and observed under the blue light. So as we have been witnessing a huge surge in the myopia among children, which is a matter of concern. I am sure that every one of you agree with me that especially the post-COVID, since last year, there is a it's a uncontrollable spike in the myopic progression. There is there are many people who are working on who are doing research on the causes, and so one of the main causes, they say that it's because of close working distance, with their digital devices. So, in routine, I always advise, now I started advising my patients to get away from the iPad and the smartphones, the tabs. Instead, start using the, what do you see? the laptops or the desktop. I mean, if possible, they can connect this to their 14-inch TV, and they can, ask the patients, ask the children to use, so that the convergence and accommodation is kept at a very, very minimal level. So it is still, we still need to receive more statistics and data from across the globe on the myopic progression and the control. So Ortho not only corrects myopia, but also slows down the progression. It's a kind of boon for the children. So we should always look forward to offering orthokeratology to the patients, if possible. If you don't practice orthoke, never never shy away from referring to a known orthokeratologist in your area. So the patients will definitely thank you for that. Low vision aids. Low vision aids offer a new life to the legally blind patients. So they are available in both optical and digital. So this is one of the key areas one should invest in. So when I say invest, it is the investment of money, investing money in that, and investing time in educating yourself, in understanding how best you can utilize these devices, on your patients. And they are available, as I said, both in optical and digital. So Occitec, I don't know how many of you have heard this company's name. Occitec offers state-of-the-art bioptics that is adjustable from 13 inches to the infinity. So it's like one device which can be adjusted, digitally. The one which you see in the picture here is it's an autofocus device, and the same one is available in with manual focus, where there is a knob which you can just rotate it and adjust it. So it's a fantastic device which can be and it is available in 4x and 6x. So 4x is the most commonly prescribed commonly prescribed bioptics of Occitec. So it's a kind of telescope, okay, and which is an adjustable one. Okay, it is available in manual and digital. So, but the digital one is nothing but the same one, which doesn't require a manual adjustment. You can, the patient can have an autofocus, just like a camera. So, among the digital devices, Iris Vision, eSight, and many other companies offer the augmented reality experience for the user. So Iris Vision, which I normally prescribe to my patients, it's like a AR headset fitted with fitted with a camera. It's a Samsung S10 camera, and through which it is fitted with specially developed software, so the patient can see in different modes. Patient can read, using that, but it's a bit bulky to use. So it's normally advised for the patients who are not mobile, who cannot move out from their home. They enjoy sitting in their sofa set in their living room and watching television and reading newspaper and all. So the one Occitec bioptics, the patient can move around. And in the United States, if I remember it right, in almost 4 states, the drivers are permitted to legally drive with the bioptics. Eschenbach and Designs for Vision offer varieties of devices. Again, they offer some bioptics and other devices, and you can try them on your patients. And apart from these devices, there are filters available which enhance everyone's vision. Like patients with especially AMD and RP, they complain of severe glare. So eScoop and Noi offer varieties of filters to enhance the vision. So whatever prescription they have, so when you add the filters, that enhances their vision. So whatever they see better with, so depending on their requirements. Some complain of glare at night, some complain of glare during daytime. So you can try varieties of filters on them and prescribe whatever is the best for them. And adding prisms to the glasses of macular degeneration patient can make a dramatic difference in the way he sees the object. So basically, the macular degeneration patients, they have a central dark area. So whatever they see only from the the periphery. So what the prism does is the prism moves from the objects from center to the side. So they end up seeing things which are straight ahead. So basically the image is moved to a healthier place in the cornea. So vision therapy. Vision therapy is another area which is unexplored by many optoms, including me, across the globe. Though I'm not a vision therapy specialist, statistics show that the results look positive, helping patients, especially with amblyopia. In fact, recently during a conference in Dubai, which was Emirates Society of Ophthalmology. So we had a session, first time we had a session of on scleral lenses, and by me, and the vision therapy by Aditya Goyal, a renowned vision therapy specialist from Chennai. And it was a very interesting session we had. And in fact, I am planning to add vision therapy in my practice, but let's hope it happens very soon. So the statistics show that the results look positive, helping patients, especially with amblyopia. Vision therapy is a great tool. But having said, how to go about it? So as I mentioned previously, to begin with, one should have a strong desire. One should never shy away from upgrading to the new technologies. Age is no limit or an excuse. I really mean it. With an experience of 34 years, I still look forward to learn new things. I don't shy away from asking any doubts. From the junior most optometrist. So you should shed your ego in learning new things. And there is no limit, and it's not an excuse at all. Thanks to the high-speed internet and specialist optometrists sharing their knowledge and wisdom free of cost. If you open the internet, if you open the Google, there are thousands of articles and publications available on Google free of cost, published by renowned optoms across the globe who have really worked hard, and some are no more on this earth. And they have published so many things, and you can learn so many things by simply browsing the internet. And many technologically advanced companies are spending time and money in developing high-tech gadgets and contact lenses. As all of you have been hearing about so many gadgets that are happening, especially recently I heard about, I just forgot the name. It's a combination of contact lens and specs together. So it's going to help many low vision patients. And all the manufacturing companies, they publish the specifications and fitting guides in their websites that is freely accessible. With a bit of a common sense, I would rather say, which is not all that common in this world. Okay, you can really understand how to fit these specialty lenses or low vision aids. It's not a rocket science. Everything is simplified these days. So one should not shy away from learning new things. So with dedication and discipline, anything is possible to achieve. There was a very interesting meeting this 4 days ago. In a dinner meeting discussion, I heard one of the senior optoms and the owner of a group of opticians was worried about the big chains coming to Dubai. I don't want to name them in this session. When I say big chains, people living in Dubai, they know which big chains are coming. So they are starting e-commerce business online, online and offline, offering at a throwaway price, single vision, progressives and all. So, and he feels that big chains are going to cause a dent in our business, and I did not agree to his view. Here, big chain is a problem, but what is the solution? So every problem has got a solution. So instead of brooding on the problem, we should focus on the solutions. So we even in many a times, when we discuss, we always discuss about the problem. When you just introspect and see the amount of time spent on discussing about the problem is almost 90% than discussing a solution which is less than 10%. So the problem is just one, but solutions are many. I'm a strong believer of simple solutions for complex issues. The problem can be any big, but the solutions are very simple. So we just need to keep our heart and mind open to understand, how it's going to help. They offer the same stuff as yours at a fraction of the price. So the only issue is the price, right? So do you think price is just the only factor that takes away all your business? I don't think so. What about your professionalism? What about the services that you offer? There are so many things, but they don't focus on specialities as they have limited chair time in their clinic, because they focus on numbers because of the low prices they offer. They want big volumes of customers, so they can't afford to offer a decent chair time. So this is where the independent optoms or optoms running their own practice, they can score well. So this is where independent optoms or standalone opticians can play a key role. Not just compensating the loss caused due to the competition, we can win the hearts and loyalty of the patients, which is very important. So when you go to big chains and all, it is so crowded, and especially when I say big chains, I'm talking about the big chains who offer specs at throwaway prices. So the staff don't spend enough time on the patient, so they just come spend, so the loyalty is very minimal, from the patients. But independent practices, standalone opticians, they spend decent amount. They build a rapport, they build a great relation with the patients, so the patients appreciate that. I have patients who have, yesterday I saw a girl when I opened my practice in 2000. She was in 9th grade, and she's married, and she came with her son who is 4 years old. And I was the one who diagnosed her keratoconus, and it was very advanced, and she underwent keratoplasty in one eye and cross-linking in the other eye. So it's nothing but the loyalty, which has a passive contribution in the growth of eyewear. So when you have specialities, so when the patients come, they see you, on a higher level, because they didn't see XYZ like you. The specialty that you have developed in the recent times, it's highly appreciated by the patients. So adding specialties and delivering the products and services with utmost professionalism and integration can grow the practice in multifold. I'm sure you all agree on this. So optoms should spend decent amount of time in upgrading their academics through fellowships, CME programs, short-term certificate courses offered by reputed institutions across the globe. Hanging the framed certificates in their clinics not only add aesthetics but creates a positive impression. Just imagine, you have a certificate, be it a month certificate, or be it a 2-day workshop or 1-day workshop or a week workshop or some CME program. But when you have a beautiful certificate and you hang it, patients, when they come and see, it creates a very positive impression. So institutions like Shankar Netralaya, LV Prasad institutes from India offer many short-term courses and fellowships in optometry. ABOC, American Board of Opticianry Certification, NCLEC, National Contact Lens Examiner Certification, FAO, a fellow of American Academy of Optometry, FCLSA, fellow of Contact Lens Society of America from USA. USA are some of the many an Optom can accomplish. So these are very few that I mentioned here, but BCLA, British Contact Lens Association, it offers a fellowship, and from Australia, so many universities, they offer fellowships. So we should look forward to doing these and adding value to our profession. Instruct your staff to explain about the new products and services offered to all the patients routinely when they visit your practice, followed by handing over a brochure. So having a brochure is very, very important on what services do you offer. But whether the patient requires low vision aids or patient scleral lenses or RGP, or they don't require, but you should routinely talk. Let instruct your staff. Okay, it's not possible all the time when you have too many patients, but we still have, you just have one patient walking in, and there are three staff or two staff standing there. So you should just, communicate with them and explain what you do. So it gives a positive impression. Social media like WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Snapchat are wonderful platforms to promote your products, services, and specialties. Every Optom should have its own website, either of his practice or personal. I am a strong believer of that. You may be thinking that, okay, I'm working for so-and-so company, I'm working for that hospital, this clinic, why should I have more? No, you are, you're a professional. So your website is your CV. So one should not shy away from having their own website. So we should encourage, our satisfied patients to leave a brief review on Google and offer them a small gift, a complimentary. It can be a complimentary eye test or a gift voucher, or respond with thanks and gratitude. So when any patient gives a positive review or leaves a 5-star in the Google, always make sure to thank them. So it's very, very important. So in the modern times, word of mouth is spread through Google, and we should make best use of it. Google is a fantastic platform to promote your products and your own self. So regular communication through reminders, birthday wishes, and sharing relevant information with the patients is very important. So even if even if there is no birthday, you can just send some information related to the development. You can send an information related to bionic eye. You can send information related to scleral lens, how it has changed one's life, or a low vision aid, how it helps. So the patient who receives this information may not be a potential patient, but he knows that so-and-so Optom practices these specialties. Oh yeah, I have a friend, I have a relative who is suffering from macular degeneration. Okay, let me refer this patient to Sridhar or Fakhruddin or anyone. So it's very, very important. Finally, coordinating with ophthalmologists and eye hospitals can be very, very beneficial. So communicate, make a good rapport with the ophthalmologist, close to your place, in the hospitals. Go and talk about what you practice, what specialties you offer to your patients, what low vision aids, what vision therapy, what RGP lenses, what orthokeratology, what all. So, and you also, whenever there is a possibility, refer your patients. You may get a cataract patient, you may get diabetic retinopathic patient, you may get some patients with infection where you're not allowed to treat them, so you can refer to the hospital. So they really appreciate that. So remember, the grass is greener where you water it. We always say the grass is greener on the other side, but we should never forget watering our own grass. Conclusion: don't think, just do it. Create your own opportunities. Stand out in the crowd as a 3D optometrist. I'm sure all my friends are going to appreciate and agree with my concluding part. And over to Fakhruddin. And if you have any questions, I'm open to answer the questions. Thank you.
Awesome. Great. Thank you so much for that very, very comprehensive talk. I think it took us through a ride, I would say, what is optometry and then what are the subspecialties, and then you gave us ideas on how to incorporate them. I think it's really important for all of us to know about it. We have learned a lot of things, but we don't incorporate, as you said. And I think this is the time where all of us should take a point to follow your 3Ds. It's really a message in itself. The 3Ds is a message in itself. So thank you so much, sir. And
thank you very much.
We had this one question, which is again very typical, I would say. And as per your experience goes, what would you do in this particular scenario? The question is, how do you convince patients or parents to go in for something different when, to take up some management options? For example, just giving you a scenario, myopia control. When you have myopia patient or kid, you want to explain to their parents about myopia management. Would you like us to give us any tips or trips to go about it?
It's a fantastic question. So what I do is, I have my certificates. Starting it was done in, if I remember it right, from Paragon CRT. I was one of the first from UAE who was certified for Paragon CRT program, and I got a certification. So I hang it there. So you need to have as many certifications as possible. Now we are talking about just this myopia management or orthokeratology or myopia control. So, and have the handouts ready. And if possible, there are so many videos available on the YouTube. You can download them, have a TV in your clinic. So whenever a patient comes, you can play the short videos, while you explain to the patients. And definitely it's convincing patients or the parents is very, very challenging, but we should never give up. Despite you convincing everything, they go to an ophthalmologist who doesn't know ABCDs of orthokeratology, and he's just simply says that no, don't go for it. It's dangerous for your child's eyes. You can't help but definitely you tell them, you can tell them, you can Google on this, and you can visit an ophthalmologist who knows about, the myopia management or orthokeratology. So I'm talking about just the myopia management and orthokeratology, but there are so many other areas, where you can work on that. And handouts, definitely handouts are very helpful, and playing videos is very helpful.
Yeah. So I think the whole key message here is patients' education, either by, playing videos or giving them evidence, and as you say, handouts, when it comes to this thing. And I think you did mention about this in your presentation as well. Have your clinic brochures.
Exactly. Exactly. And Sanjay had asked a very relevant question. Thanks, Sanjay, for asking a very good question.
Yeah. So it's important. And just a connecting question, sir. I think you also did mention a lot of educational courses which you did tell us about. Do you think that we should be doing these courses before we enter into a subspecialty to get us ready, or it should be an add-on to what we are already doing?
It can be both. Definitely, these courses will definitely help. And, they are motivational, and they give a lot of confidence, especially for the budding optoms.
Yeah. Okay, great. And there are some messages about, so I'm not taking that question, but there are some messages asking you about fellowships in neurooptometry and fellowships in different subspecialties. And I think you did cover a lot.
Yes. I covered very few. Optometry is a huge, but these are the most easiest, and they cover most of the patients. Yeah. When you talk about numbers, After spectacles, the highest number of patients are for contact lenses, and which is more easy and which is quite relevant. So you take spectacle number and you use that number for prescribing contact lenses. So it's very closely related. Then comes the low vision aids. Then comes the vision. So apart from that, yes, there are so many other. I've just covered very few.
Yeah.
To which are easy to incorporate in our practice, and in fact, with minimal education, you can start practicing the specialty lenses. Many people still have a kind of fear in prescribing scleral lenses. I don't know why. It is just another contact lens. It's not a rocket science. So it's just basically to motivate and encourage the optoms in adding these specialties. Yes,
that's right. Okay. And another question, which I think is really, if you'd like to touch upon, is teleoptometry. Any
teleoptometry? Yes.
Yeah. Any suggestions on teleoptometry? As you know, in the current scenario, it's been one of the platform in practice because of the situation we are going through in some parts of the world still. Would that be a specialty practice in the future?
Yeah, basically, yeah, definitely. I see that as a future, provided we get some developments in terms of doing refraction online. I don't know how successful it is going to be. There are so many companies, who are coming up with some softwares and all where you can do online, you can prescribe glasses with online refraction. So it is still in, R&D stage. But yes, teleoptometry, yeah. But we have our own limitations, as I said, especially the Asian optoms. We cannot prescribe drugs. We can only give suggestions. We can just give some advices to the patients. Okay, patient may come on teleoptometry and he may ask, I bought these glasses a week ago, but I see double vision. I get severe headache, and also unless you know that these are descented lenses, or the prescription is overpowered or undercorrected or whatever. It's very, of course, there are challenges, but definitely it helps the optometry field of optometry to get a higher level of recognition among the crowd.
Yeah. And I think this again relates back to your point where you mentioned that have good relations and tie up with eye hospital.
Very important. Very important.
Right? Yeah. So at least you can do whatever is in your scope the best, and whatever is not in your scope, like we were talking about drug prescription, we can refer them to an ophthalmologist who can do that for us. And patients would definitely be very happy and be vocal about it, that thank you so much for referring me. And
exactly.
Right? That's important. I think
it's basically a give and take.
Yes, it's always a give and take, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. One last question before we do this closing is instrumentation. So just modifying a bit of this question is, when we talk about putting in specialty into our practice, it comes with a cost where we need to invest on certain instruments. So what are your thoughts about it? How can we overcome that as a challenge? Or is that a challenge question in the first place?
So the budget model instrument for scleral lens practice is a good, a 3 or 5 step a slit lamp. Okay. And the most expensive instrument that I suggest is your brain. Okay. And to begin with, having OCT and aberrometer is not mandatory, is not really mandatory. So anyway, when a patient comes for scleral lenses, either he's already I would say, whomever I've come across so far, 90% of my scleral lenses patients were already diagnosed for keratoconus or post-LASIK ectasia or any traumatic cornea or referred. So, definitely, having OCT will be helpful. But I don't have an OCT. I wish I had one. But if one can invest If one have good budget, they can go ahead investing the OCT and barometer. But to begin with, you need to invest on a good trial set and invest on a company which gives a good support. Because all the lenses are good. So the most important thing is one should understand, one should develop a communication between, one should develop a good communication with the trial set that they have. So I take pride in, in almost 90% of the cases, my first trial lens is the last trial. Hardly 10 or 15% of the cases, I use a second lens. So you develop, an understanding. Like you see the profile, you just flash torch from the side, from the temporal side. You understand the corneoscleral shape, and yes, I should start with 7.8 for 4.4 sag lens, and you make some adjustments. So you need to develop that communication.
Yeah.
And you should have a tie-up. You should go with a trusted lab who give good support in helping you in fitting these lenses. Yep.
That's right. Okay, great. So, but this was just overview on what Sir has been doing, and this is more of to let us know that there is a huge scope as an optometrist, right?
Right. Thank you very much. And you're doing a great job, Fakhruddin. God bless you for all the efforts and the pain that you have taken. And we look forward to some really, really interesting sessions in future.
Thank you so much. It's the entire team who is behind. So I would let them take the privilege as well. So thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much to the team OOLS.
Yeah. So we do have a session planned next weekend, and we'll be sharing all the details about the session via the email or on the WhatsApp group. So I hope to see you next week. Until then, take care, be safe, and bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.